Hey there, Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Zishan and today I wanted to show you how I meal prep for Ramadan. Although fair warning, my Ramadan meal prep looks a little different than others I've seen out there. I know culturally we're used to the samosas and pakoras and I'm not telling you not to eat those. We all need our comfort foods. But I am asking you to tweak it a little bit and not to eat it every day because we have so much going on in our bodies. We have autophagy and you can watch a more detailed video on that. I'll link it in the description box below. And the benefits of intermittent fasting, our hormone fluctuation, our ghrelin and leptin hormones that are our satiation and hunger hormones, how they get affected, and how eating a refined fatty diet can really set us back and negate the benefits of fasting. I have broken up this video into 2 days. So there's day 1 where I prepped all the stuff that needed cooking, and day 2 where I just prepped stuff that didn't need cooking. I do have one thing that I know my kids enjoy and I like to make it for them, but I tweak it so that it isn't as oily and made in the oil that I like and approve of. So a good thing to do is assess the items you want to make. So for me, that was chicken quesadillas, and that's how I began my day. Wanted to boil the chicken, and although I use chicken breast, today I'm using the whole chicken, which is great because we all love dark meat in the house. So I'm going to boil this with some red chili powder and salt and wait for it to cook, which will take about 30 minutes. And we want to evaporate all the water so that we can then add the vegetables and mix everything together. Now, while that's cooking, I have my imli ki chutney that I like to prepare ahead of time. And I freeze it or put it in jars and store it in the refrigerator. I'm also going to preheat my oven for some sweet potatoes. I like to roast these to add to my eggs or to my salad, which I'm going to be prepping on day 2. Sweet potatoes are great for conquering those cravings we all tend to have in Ramadan. And I have a sweet tooth, so I just love my sweet potatoes. So now I'm checking up on the chicken and the tamarind chutney. It will sort of disintegrate like this when it's boiling, and then we're just going to let it slowly soften up. Now while that's going, we're going to put our sweet potatoes in for about 20 minutes on 425 degrees. And you want to make sure that the sweet potatoes are evenly spread out. We'll put some olive oil on them and some salt and just give them a good mix. So you don't want to have them too crowded, otherwise they'll just steam up. You want to get them nice and roasted. Put that in the preheated oven. And now it's time to take out our chicken and set that aside to cool. You want to make sure that the water has totally dried up. So we're going to leave the heat on to medium-low and let the water evaporate. And now that the tamarind has softened up, we're just going to add a little bit more water and see the consistency we like. So now that we're waiting for the chicken to cool down, I'm going to get started on the seekh kebab. This is another great freezer-friendly option. So basically you just process the onions, green chilies and cilantro together. I forgot the cilantro today, but I'll add it later. And then just take the meat and mix that all in. So the potatoes were done, so I just took them out. We're going to wait for them to cool down. And then we add the ginger and garlic. Usually I have some garlic that I have pre-minced, but that's something I need to get to before Ramadan for sure. And then you just add everything into the ground beef, some salt, red chili powder, coriander, and I'll share the recipe in the description box below so that you can make your own. And lastly, because I don't want to add any gluten, I use gram flour and 1 egg. This ensures that the kebabs are nice and soft. And now we'll just put it away in the fridge to marinate. So here I'm just chopping up the cilantro for the quesadillas as well as the seekh kebab. So now that the chicken has cooled down, we're going to debone it and chop it all up. So once the water has dried up, we'll add the onions first. And now everything goes together into the pot and mixed well. This is the filling for the quesadilla. Now, I often just use leftover curry chicken, but this is a great way to make it from scratch. So that's what I'm doing today. And we're going to wait for the chicken mixture to cool down before we add the cheese so that it doesn't melt. And meanwhile, we'll work on the tamarind chutney. It's nice and soft now, so we just put it through a sieve. And again, you want to add water to thin it out to your liking. Again, I have the recipe on my website, so you can go and check that out as well. And then add the spices and sweetener of choice. Now I've made it with jaggery, date sugar, and even refined white sugar, but coconut sugar is my sweetener of choice today. And then just put it in a jar that you can put in the refrigerator. I also put it in ice cube trays so that I can store them in the freezer and take out at will. And I've shared this tip before. And now it's time to assemble the quesadillas. Today I have the almond flour tortilla, which is what I'm going to be having. And I'm really enjoying these tortillas. And then my family prefers flour tortilla, so I am going to be preparing the quesadilla in the flour tortilla for them. So usually I get the quesadilla or taco sized tortillas, but I couldn't find it in my grocery store, so I just picked up these bigger ones, but they seem to work. You just need more filling, but that's okay. So I just have a little assembly line and I'm going to just work to fill up as many as I can. And then I'm going to fry them so that they're ready and just need some toasting before they are ready to be eaten. So my boys prefer a savory breakfast, and that is why you're seeing savory stuff. Even the seekh kebab, they enjoy having for breakfast with their eggs or just rolled up in a tortilla. So we're just going to fry them in 2 separate pans. Just makes it quicker and there's no risk of contamination, as one is gluten-free and one isn't. So now that they're done, I'm going to put them aside and wait for them to cool down before I cut them up. So now the seekh kebabs are ready to be cooked, and I have this skewer that I use just to shape them. You can use the back of a wooden spoon or even a bamboo stick. Now you can bake them too, and I do have a recipe that I've shared before where I bake them, but lately I feel like my boys are enjoying the pan-fried seekh kebabs. I just feel that they're juicier. So we'll just finish cooking this up. And I'm gonna let them cool down while I cut up my quesadillas and get them ready for storing away. So I like to cut them into halves. All right, welcome to day 2. So today we're just going to chop up a bunch of veggies, and so I am doing broccoli. I am planning on making my quinoa salad, and I have some veggies I want to chop up for khagina, and just so that I have some ready chopped up onion and tomatoes and green chilies so that I can just whip up the eggs at suhoor and use those veggies. So a word of caution for the broccoli: usually right after iftar, consumption of raw broccoli is known to give gassiness and bloating. So perhaps you want to roast your broccoli, which is what I'm going to be doing. And then I have kale. Now this is something that I will be massaging and using in my quinoa salad later, and even in green smoothies. Because it's so hard to get your greens in as it is, I am ensuring that I have some, just so that we get our fiber in to prevent constipation that tends to happen during the beginning few days of Ramadan. And this can be sauteed or roasted. Cabbage is another fiber-rich, nutrient-dense veggie, and I like to slice up at least half of it so that I can have it ready for that quinoa salad I was talking about. And you can find the recipe for the salad on my website. And you can change the veggies to your liking. So today I'm using bell peppers, and these are all hearty veggies that are storage refrigerator friendly. So I am just chopping up half of the bell pepper. The other half I'm going to slice up so that I have it ready for stir fries or just using with my eggs. Same goes for the red bell pepper. I'm going to be doing the same thing with this one, chopping it for the salad, and then the other half can go in the container with the orange bell pepper. Again, bell peppers are sweet, so they help with cravings, and that's why I chose to have them ready and on hand. Again, carrots, rich in beta carotene and fiber. This will go inside the salad as well. And then I'm going to make the dressing later. Right now, I just chopped up the veggies and I'm going to be storing these away. And now I'm just going to chop up onions, tomatoes, and green chilies for my khagina. And now it's time to assemble the green smoothie bags. So I have some organic strawberries and some spinach that I got from the store. And I have bags of banana on hand at any given moment, because as soon as a banana isn't eaten, it's going to waste. I just cut it up and put it in my freezer for use later. We use it in smoothies and smoothie bowls, and I hear that it's great for baking. I haven't tried it yet, but suffice to say, I always have frozen bananas in my freezer. So here I'm just putting away some spinach, frozen bananas, and strawberries, and I'll share the recipe in the description box. And lastly, I have the pakora mix that I was talking about, the indulgence that I have for my family. So I don't have any pre-made fried foods. I just have this mix, and I learned this from a fellow blogger, Flour and Spice blog, and she shared this one year, and it's been a game changer for us. And my spices are just simple ground cumin, salt, and red chili powder, and that's all that I have. And that's it. I'll be frying up the pakoras in some refined coconut oil as and when needed. All right, I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to share this with friends who you think will benefit, and give it a thumbs up, because that is what helps my channel grow, and I'm ever so grateful for your support. And let me know in comments how you prep for Ramadan. What are you making, and what is one thing you're doing that is setting you up for health and success? And have a blessed, happy, healthy Ramadan. I'll see you in the next video.